All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a Sunday afternoon, and just going to do some warm up before I uh, get to inking this page here that I have partially covered up. Um, but yeah, I just want to loosen my hands up a little bit. I actually sometimes like to pencil before I ink. Um, as it helps to loosen my wrist. And I really haven't done that much drawing today. So before I get into the inking, I want to make sure that my wrist is nice and loose uh, so that I can just quickly put down the lines that I need to with confidence in ink. So right now I'm just going to draw just a basic drawing. I'm not really sure what I'm drawing at this point. But as you can see, I'm just constructing the basic head shape right now. I'm putting down my guidelines of where I need things to kind of fall in space on this face. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a Joker. Let's do a Joker. All right. Um, just throwing in kind of like where the eyebrows should be, kind of throwing in the structures where I feel the eyes are going to be, kind of like putting in my nose here. Throwing in some cheekbones in here, kind of trying to, as you can see, I'm kind of constructing like the front lobe of the skull and where it comes back here. Then the cheekbone, these would be where the sockets of the skull is, and then right here where my nose is where I have that, that cartilage right there. Boom, there goes your nose. Yeah, so measuring where my eyeballs should be before I put in the details for the eye form. Nice and loose. Structure this ear a little bit. Make sure to measure with our guideline here. Yep, looks like it's in the right spot. Kind of drawing in roughly where the hairline is going to be. Getting the form of that in there. I'm going to go into the neck, the trapezius area. Joker is pretty angular, so I want to draw right in here where this comes. Just kind of put in the clavicle area, then come down like so. All right, and then where the rib cage would be. All right, so this right here would be like the torso area. All right, and then the trapezius. So he's not like super heavily muscled. So we're not gonna really focus too much on that. We're trying to keep his build kind of slender looking. All right. And I'm just kind of lightly putting in some anatomy here, but I'm going to put some clothing on him. I just want to kind of get loosely what the forms in for the arms. Okay, your shoulder here. Got this. Not sure what his hand's going to be doing here. It's going to be doing something though. All right, and then if we follow what the torso here is, the rib cage here, we're going to see that that would be like about where the back side of his the back of his rib cage and his back, and then right in here going into those obliques. Okay. All right, so let's kind of structure in his hand here. It's gonna be doing something. I just haven't figured out what that is. Just kind of drawing in the fingers for what I think they're going to be doing. I'm still not sure. I don't know. It looks like he has his hand out. I might not go with that. I might change that altogether. But let's draw in. Actually, you know what? I don't like that. So let's just get rid of that. We'll figure it out. All right. So let's put in some of his. Let's put some costuming on here. All right. So Joker likes to wear, from every time I've seen him drawing, people like to put costuming that kind of flares out his shoulders a little bit. So you know what? Let's just do that too. Let's see. Why don't we put him in some kind of like a trench coat? All right. So as you can see, I'm drawing around here because I want to get the details of his trench coat here, and you know, I have this come around here like so, and let's put him in a shirt. Okay, so once again we want to obey the form. All right, so we want to follow this collar around how it would line up. All right. And let me see. Do we put? Let's put one of those ribbon style ties that he's famous for, right? Once again, we're just sketching this in. Right, and let's put a belt in here for the trench coat. All right, let's put the belt loop in here. Let's make that loop through this way. Let's have it drop down. All right. Still don't know what we're doing with that arm there. Let's just have it hanging down. Keep it simple. Just a warm up, right? All right. Fabric falls down this way, then you have where it starts to bunch up like this. Let's throw the buttons in there. And let's put the pockets. Do it on both sides there. Let's go back to the face. Try to get his eyes a little more defined here. I don't remember exactly, but I think Jim Lee, is he the one that first started drawing like this hook on Joker's nose? I think he was. All right, so now I'm gonna go in here. Like I said, it's a quick sketch. We got it pretty much done. Let's go in here with some ink. So let's try to find a couple of tools here. Let's grab a Micron 5 and let's grab a Micron 3 and let's see if I can find a Micron 1. Oh, let's go with an 8. Do I have a 1 in here? I have a 2. Close enough. All right. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna start going in with this Micron 5. So here I'm just really more concerned with making sure that I'm picking the lines that I want to form the structures. All right, not too concerned with being too pretty with it right now. Like I said, I'm just constructing, and I'm gonna go back over these lines to kind of make them more solid and pretty. But right now, I'm just finding the lines that I want to use for this drawing. So like I said, I want to keep it fast. I want to keep it loose. You know, I want to get bogged down in, you know, worrying about, hey, where does this exact line go? I could really care less at this point. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to capture like just raw energy and just get the feel of the pen moving across the paper as rapidly as possible, and hopefully to a decent effect. Sometimes I'm more successful than others, but like I said, I'm just trying to find lines. This 5. Is this a 0.05? No, this should be a 5. I wonder why it's drawing so thin, almost too thin. Acting more like a number 1. To be honest, it's weird. You do see there it's a 0.5. The lines don't act like a 0.5. The lines are showing that they're anything but. The lines are showing that they're, gosh, doesn't that look like a 0.1 to you? Good grief. Look at the size of that tip compared to, I don't have an 0.1. Here's an 0.2. I don't know if you can see that. That's an 0.2 tip, and this is an 0.5 tip. That tip is much bigger, but for some reason, it's throwing down a really thin line. I don't know if it's a paper, I don't know if it's a tool. But in either event, it's all good. We're just gonna make it work. Like I said, I'm more concerned with just picking out the lines I want to use. Yeah, I think this pen is just dead. I think that's what the problem is. All right, I'm just gonna have to switch this up because that's gonna drive me nuts. Maybe watch this 03 actually lay down a better line. Sure does. That's funny. Yeah, that was just a dead pen. Hey, sometimes you get that, you know. I tend to, you know, I ink a lot when I ink traditionally. I use microns, and I don't tend to throw them away as soon as they start to dry out because they give me different effects that I like. But I guess in this instance, that one might have been DOA a long time ago, and I just didn't realize it. Yeah, this is actually working better. So as you can see, I'm not going over every line, but I am, like I said, picking out certain lines that I think I like and I want to use and keep. And then, after that, obviously I'll worry about, I'll worry about how to define and each line and how to render and where I'm going to spot blacks and that sort of thing in this quick drawing. And like I said, this is really a very quick drawing. But yeah, so anyway, I mean, what do you guys do to warm up? What do you guys do? Do you do stuff like this to kind of quickly sketch out something, or do you do something else? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you guys do. I'd be interested for sure. We can all learn from each other, regardless of where we're at. I learn things from actually artists at every level, as far as, because they might be doing something different and new. Although I think that is more common when it comes to digital work, which I do a lot of my comics. I create them digitally. A lot of my art I create digitally, but I use it in a very basic way, and I know that a lot of young artist creators here that are more in tune with the tools and how to use them in very unique ways that I may not be aware of. So I love to discover new way of of using digital techniques, specifically. But there might be some drawing techniques or different sketching methods that people use, that that I could maybe learn from. We should always be learning, right? We should always be trying to get better at what we do. No rest for the wicked, I suppose. Kind of playing with the jokers here. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing here. I'm just kind of putting in the outline of his hair. I haven't quite figured out where that's going to all end up, but hopefully it'll all come together and it won't be such a hot mess. But then again, I'm not going to be too worried about it, because like I said, this is more of like a warm-up sketch type thing, so I'm not going to stress too much about it. So recently I had a campaign to raise some funds for my comic, Gin and Tonic, and I'll be getting the payout from that here this week. I was notified, so I'll be printing comics in the very near future and putting those out. So if you didn't get a chance to back it, I did it on Indiegogo, and it was okay. Uh, but I'm told by many other friends of mine that they're not big into Indiegogo, but if I had done it on Kickstarter, they definitely would have backed it. So I'm thinking about doing a new campaign, but on Kickstarter. So if you missed out on the gin and tonic campaign uh, that we just finished, you may get an opportunity to back it in the very near future under Indiegogo campaign. So you guys stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I will. I just got together with my fellow co-creator on Gods and Generals. I mean Gods and Soldiers. I don't know why I said Gods and Generals. Gods and Soldiers. Mark Stanislawski. He's the founder of Good Idea Comics, and yeah, so we're gonna finally be releasing Gods and Soldiers, issue 1 coming probably when when I start fulfilling the campaign for Gin and Tonic. We'll get those books out, and we'll let you guys know how you can order Gods and Soldiers. It's a lot of fun. Good story there. Let me erase some of my lines that I've got here. So like I said, I wasn't too hung up, so I just threw down a bunch of lines, and that right there is just to kind of get the ideas out of what it is that I want to do in the image and that sort of thing. I wish I had figured out something, to do with his arms, but that's okay. I like I said, this is just a warm up. My intention is not to get too hot and heavy with this, because I know that it's just warm up for when I start inking. Just trying to get my big boy, throw down some black areas, some massive black areas there. All right, so I'm gonna break out. Let's break out this number 8. That number 5 failed me. I'm gonna have to retire. Let me see if I have another number 5 in here somewhere. Oh, can't seem to find one, so we're good. All right, so let's stick with what we got. I'm going to do some outlining here with my number 8. And creating some separation. This is where I get quiet, right? Even though it's just a sketch, and I'm sure we all do it. When you're trying to videotape something and also focus, I get really quiet, and that is not good for a video. But it is what it is, right? All right, let me go in. Put my number 2. Start working on his eyes a little bit. Have we figured out where the light source is coming from? I'm thinking it's coming this way. All right, so let's do that. Let's design everything so that it is throw down some shadows here. So I'm throwing down these lines here, and I want to be mindful that as I'm doing that, I'm kind of following that same direction that I'm putting those lines in. I'm going to come across it at some point, but for now I do want to just build on that. Okay, and then I'm throwing down the lines kind of quickly on top of that. When you're throwing down lines that way, you kind of want to be quick about it. Not messy, just quick. That way, you know, there's like a certain confidence there. When you're trying to throw a short line like that and you go slow, all right, the tendency is to wiggle with it. But if you throw it down fast, all right, you won't have that problem. All right, it'll just bam, 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 bam. I really hope, I think I have my camera at the wrong speed, but I hope that you guys are seeing what I'm doing here and putting these lines down. I normally don't start inking the face right away, but I just got into it kind of quickly. All right, let me see if I can use this number 3. So I'm just dropping some shadows here where I think they're gonna go. Probably here. Definitely there. There is a rhyme and a reason to these shapes that I'm putting down. They're not just random. Got a brush band here. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. So let's work on his hair a little bit here. I like these pens. I actually was turned on to these pens by David Finch. Saw him using them on a video, and I was like, "Whoa, what is that pen?" And it is a Fude Nosuke. It's made by Tombow, and I ordered. There was like a crazy deal on these, and I ordered. They come in a 2-pack. There's a blue one and a black one. The black one acts more like a brush pen. It has more flexibility to it. Then the blue one also has flex to it, but not so much, not as much as the black one. So I got them in a 2-pack, and I think I picked up like, I think it was like 25 2-packs. I think I paid like $40. It's a pretty good deal. Take my number. Let's go with this number 8 here. Let's add some texture to this. I'm putting all this texture in on this lapel. Let's delineate this collar a little bit better here. Switch back over to this number 3. Get some of this detailing done here. So as you can see there, I'm trying to use line in order to create form and contour. Let's see if I can do something with this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna outline that a little bit better. These lines looking a little jaggedy, so we'll use the brush pen here to delineate those better. There we go. Plus, by doing this, it helps to pop this forward a little bit, putting that thicker line on there. Alright, so now I'll go in there with this number 3. And let me create some depth, I should say, not depth. adding some detail to this trench coat. I'm using a number 8 only because it's a wider line. I don't have to throw down as many lines to get the effect that I want. But it also helps to imply that this is a darker toned vest, or I'm sorry, trench coat. So it's, you know, either like a shiny black or a charcoal gray or something like that. There's a lot of things that you can do with black ink that, you know, they're more of an optical illusion, because the reality is when you put a black line down, that's pretty much it. And we're just trying to create illusions of something that's there that's really not. You know, we're trying to create a gray where no gray exists. And a lot of that has to do with the line control and how you put it down. So obviously the closer that you and thicker that you space lines together, the more it indicates that it's deeper in shadow. So you can play with the textures that way. There's some detail in here. Obviously right over here where the light is away from it the most, you're probably going to have putting a little detail in here. And obviously on this side, all right, we need to keep in mind the same things, but it's not going to be maybe as dramatic. You would think that more light is hitting on this side, so you're not going to have all these lines close together like you do on this side. So we know that here on this flap, I'm trying to build up the illusion that, you know, it's coming forward a little bit, and that this button here is kind of lifting this flap forward. But it's all illusion, right? Because we're dealing with a 2D canvas, and we're trying to create 3D effects on it. And I'm continuing. the lines from this side and bringing them over. And all right. I don't know what happened. We had a little technical difficulties, but in either event, this is the finished sketch. So I hope you like it. If you got anything positive out of this, by all means, give a thumbs up, a like on the video, comment if you'd like, and stay tuned for more videos coming. Thank you very much. Have a great night.